What's going on, guys? I am super excited to bring you today's video. We're doing an international teams only fantasy draft challenge. Now for this, I basically just took all the international teams in game and put them in a fantasy draft. For this, guys, I actually have to do a custom league as we only have 23 teams in total. Also, too, because the salary is going to be so wonky, I'm simply just going to have the salary turned off. Now, for the NHL schedule, I actually want to mix it up and make it a bit more like the international tournaments and have a round robin. And you can actually do 3 rounds total, which is almost a full 82-game season. As you can see there, we're going to be playing 66 games. And next year, I'm actually changing the point system, as in the international tournaments, a regulation wins were 3, overtime shootouts 2, overtime losses 1, and then regulation losses 0. So it makes a bit more sense, actually. There's this way every single game has 3 points up for grabs, opposed to the NHL system where some games have 3 and some games have 2. So I'll do the international way. I actually like it a lot better. Now, in terms of how teams qualify for the playoffs in this, it's going to be conference with playoff reseeding. I'm also going to have a wild card round here, just kind of for fun. Also, too, it lets us have 10 teams qualify, which I think is kind of the perfect amount. And now, some of you might already know, for some reason, you can't actually substitute international teams into franchise mode. As you can see there, they're not an option. I don't know why that is, but because of that, I actually had to go and make 23 custom teams representing each nation. So right here, you guys can see all the teams I made, which I'm not gonna lie, it took a bit to make. So if you wouldn't mind leaving a thumbs up on this video, I would appreciate it. As you guys can see, we got the Austria team there with the Eagle, Budapest, Hungary. For some reason, Hungary was not a city name. Canada with the Maple Leaf. Czech there's got the lion with the crown. I thought was pretty cool. Denmark, Finland with another lion. France there with the Fleur de Lure. You got Germany there with their eagle. Great Britain, that kind of looks like, you know, the Union Jack. Italy, I just used the chef. I thought it was kind of funny. Japan's got the red circle. Kazakhstan, they have a sun on their logo, so the closest thing I get was the Solar Bears one. Latvia there. Norway, they have a polar bear, which is kind of cool. Poland's also got an eagle. Russia there's got the Russian bear. Hopefully no one's too upset I have the Russian team in, but just adds a lot more players to the draft. Slovakia had some mountains in the back of like their hockey logo. Slovenia actually, like, I kind of nailed them, not gonna lie. Then you got the South Korea team, and again, for some reason, South Korea is not a city name, so I had to go South Carolina. Sweden's got like the yellow crown. Switzerland kind of got the white cross there. The USA logo there literally says Americans on it. And then finally there you got the Ukraine team. And now right here you guys can see the divisions for this league. I'm actually really excited to see how it turns out. So first off, we got the West Division, Canada, France, Great Britain, Italy, Swiss, and the US. Then you got the Central, Slovenia, Slovakia, Germany, Czech Republic, Hungary, Austria. Those teams are on the Western Conference. Over in the Eastern Conference, in the North Division, you got Denmark, Finland, Latvia, Norway, Sweden. And then in the East Division, you got the Ukraine, Korea, Russia, Poland, Kazakhstan, and Japan. So like I said, I'm pretty excited to see kind of what happens here. It'd be actually really fun to do this again, but just with the teams as they are, because, you know, you got Russia there that's so much better, nice and overall than like Poland at 21, but obviously the fantasy draft, it should be a lot closer. And in regards to the AHL teams, I sent them all out for lower rated Euro teams. My thinking is that the computers will probably end up calling up a bunch of guys from the AHL if they're not in the fantasy draft, or if they are in the fantasy draft, then there won't be like any of those, you know, guys from UK, Poland, Japan, etc. being drafted. So hopefully this way there are some guys from all those other countries being used. And regardless, for the fantasy draft I do, I can only use the first 20 guys I draft. And in regards to the settings, guys, right here you can see I got player pool turned off, so it should just be like the international team players that are in the draft. We'll see what happens. Also, too, guys, in case you're wondering, your AHL team here is Hockey Asiago. I honestly had no idea who it was because I was like subbing in and out so many. So of course I'm like, you know, using the Canadian team, but again with the fantasy draft, it doesn't matter. Are you kidding me? I just loaded in, you guys saw that happen. First overall. I mean, normally I randomize a bunch of times, but can we pass on Connor McDavid wearing that Maple Leaf jersey, which he's literally never gotten to do at the world stage since he's been in the NHL, which I think is unbelievable. So maybe I got to keep the first overall pick here to go get him. We'll take McDavid first overall. The next pick we have is going to be really tough, but having McDavid lead us out, I think, is a good place to start. So, curious to see. Only 23 players, of course, in the first round. Makar, Draisaitl, McKinnon, Pastrnak. Actually, for a second I thought I got picked by the Czech, but he's on Sweden. Okay, Matthew Tkachuk's on Team America, so that's pretty cool. Rantanen there on Japan. Anyone else go to their actual team? I don't think so. Yeah, going through the rest of the first round does not look like it. I'll check round 2 quickly, too, just because, I mean, obviously it's pretty short there. You can see, like, round 2, still getting some pretty good players, but, again, there's not as much depth without all 32 NHL teams, you know, being in this. I did notice, though, like, a lot of the international teams had 6 or 7 guys scratch, which definitely helps out. Okay, so, could give McDavid here, Ovechkin to, you know, pass the puck to. Could go and get an elite goalie. I'm honestly thinking I can wait, though, because how many teams can be taking 2 goalies? There's only 23 teams. I think there's more than 23, like, 85-plus goalies, so we should be okay. Worst case, too, I think goalie matters the least. I mean, this next pick here, I think, is very, very important. All right, guys, so I think for the next pick, we have to take John Carlson. He's, like, the best defenseman available. Again, we have back-to-back picks. I'm honestly trying to decide right now between Ovechkin and Patrick Kane. Ovechkin puts up a bunch of goals. Patty Kane, though, is always just so good in the sim. Like, I don't know what he is. He's an absolute god. Who's going to do better on that top line with McDavid? The thing is, Kane's 3 years younger and not as, like, expensive a contract. Could Ovi still be there? End of the 4th round? I doubt it, but I think there's a better chance than Patty Kane. So we're going to try Patty Kane here. We're going to mix it up. Probably wasn't the pick, but we'll see. Ovechkin is gone. That's okay. You still got Ekholm there. Like, the only defenseman. I guess there's going to be a lot more forwards than defense. So maybe we should actually prioritize D, I'm thinking. Let's take Ekholm. We want to have, a solid defense. At least solid top 4. The bottom pair can be like 50s. It's okay. Next tier, probably someone else for that first line. Maybe Couturier, though. Get somebody to be second line center. Can play PK for us. Kind of all situations. Ryan O'Reilly also fits that bill. No X Factors, though. So I think I'm going to go Couturier there just for extra chemistry boost with the X Factors. Round number 5, you can see already like mid-80s. If we want defense, Petrie's there, Orlov. Looking at goalies, wow. So all those teams got their starting goalies, maybe even a backup too. Okay, I think we're just going to rock a low goalie. I can't believe, I guess, yeah, they all got taken in these last few rounds. I feel like Orlov's a better all-around defenseman than Petrie, at least he should be. This is EA's roster, just because of custom rosters usually mess up the international teams. Pretty funny, honestly, Petrie, same ring there as Orlov. And you know what, rather than going Petrie, I'm thinking Klingberg here. Offensive defenseman, yeah. Have him like run power play too. That'll be really solid. Round out the top 4. I know Leafs fans aren't a fan of his right now, but I think that should still be okay. The fact Puljujarvi just got taken. We could go Ekman Larson. Could also go Gudas here. I don't think that makes a ton of sense. We got to start getting some players that can help out on forward. We've got 3 forwards right now, 4 defensemen, and we're already down to low 80s. This is actually a challenge. Oh, man. Phil Kessel, another free agent here, him and Patty Kane. He has a really good shot. If he's on the first line with McDavid, I think he could do something. Oshie bad contract. Maybe that'll help us get him. Are we at the back-to-back? We are. So this is tough. I think we got to go forwards. Like, I think the defense will be fine. Like, the bottom pair. We need to at least get a good top 6. Oshie could probably play him in any situation. Did I not just take... Did I not just take Phil Kessel? Is he in here twice because he's a free agent? Yeah, I did just take Phil Kessel, so I guess it's a Phil Kessel clone. Okay, people are probably going to hate this, but what if I take another Phil Kessel? Just have the clones out there. It must be because he's in free agency as well as being on an international team. I did not realize that. I apologize. That means there's actually 2 Patty Kanes as well. I probably would have passed on Kane if I knew that, but just for fun, we're going to have, the clone of Kessel. I think, both of them playing maybe on the second line. Between Couturier would be kind of funny. So McDavid's on the top line with Kane. Who else do we want there? Zach Parise. I mean, he's okay. Maybe we'll actually have to split up the Kessel clones, I'm thinking. Yeah, we need to get top 6 forwards. In terms of the goaltenders, we still got Grubauer there. I mean, do we take Grubauer right now? I think we do. Everyone else is pretty terrible, so let's go Grubauer. The fact we actually got a decent goalie round 10, I'm pretty surprised by. We're going back-to-back here as well, so could take Parise. Could go for a centerman. Parise's 39, which does scare me a little bit. He might drop in rating during the sim, so let's try taking Tarek Brassard. The fact he's our 6th best forward. Silverberg's still here, probably because of the contract. 2-way forward there. I mean, on the third line, he's not terrible. And we could get John Moore here. Decent bomb pairing defenseman. 82 D awareness, though. Like, that's actually kind of crap. Ryan Murray as well is not the best. There's not really much else there defensively. So we got a good goalie. Maybe our offense can get led by McDavid. And a lot of time in the sim, if you have like no other good forwards, the top guys pop off. Eric Stahl's still there, 79. Joel Armia as well. The 2-way forward there. Let's take Stahl. Tobias Ryder, I know it was on the German team. It'd be kind of cool to have him maybe. Wayne Simmons could be good on like the 4th line. Balsers, sniper. Maybe he does better in a bigger role. I'm going to try Balsers first just because I think like Eric Stahl, Joel Armia, that might be available for a little bit here. So next pick, I'm thinking, ooh, Sammy Fatton. I think that's a guy I haven't heard of in a long time. Offensive defenseman, 78 D awareness. Slater Cuckoo there. Wow, we are really just kind of finding whatever we can. I'm thinking next we'll take Eric Stahl, get a 79. Probably be our 4th line center. Have Brassard on the 3rd line. Try to have like somewhat even lines. We'll go with Joel Armia next. I think we can definitely wait for that 6th defenseman. Here, guys, round 17. We actually have, 10 forwards. We need a couple more. Wayne Simmons, I think, would actually be like a really good 4th liner. Power forward. You got, 4-star physical. Should do well. Next pick here. We only got 3 more picks to make. Is it time for Sammy Vatanen? Who's this guy? Belinskis. I don't even know who this is. 83D awareness. Jason Demers is here. 83D awareness as well. I'm just trying to find, honestly, probably the highest one. Looks like it's going to be one of those. Let's take the random dude who I've never heard of. Belinsky's. Uvis Belinsky. He must be on one of the international teams. Like I said, do not recognize him. We're actually going back to back, so a backup goalie, I don't care. I mentioned Tobias Ryder, can be kind of fun. Henrik Borgstrom, he's kind of big, 6'3". Tobias Ryder was a two-way forward there, 83D awareness, decent skating. I know he's on the German national team, so we'll go Tobias Ryder here. Honestly, this team ended up better than I expected. I thought we might get stuck with, you know, some 50s there on the fourth line. Next year, all we need is a backup goalie, and so I got some decent guys. Any like legends? There he is, Dennis Godla. If you guys don't know, he was an absolute beast with Slovakian World Junior team back in like 2014, 2015. So even though he's a little bit lower rated there, I think it'd be fun just to draft him as our backup. So that's our team, guys. It's set in stone. I'm really not sure how it's gonna do. Forwards are weak. The defense is pretty strong. I'm very curious to see what all the other teams are gonna look like. You can probably do a quick, you know, look through the lineups. Alright guys, so right there you can see our final draft results. Again, anyone drafted after Godla we cannot use. Alright guys, I'll next show what the lines are looking like for this team. As I mentioned, had to be pretty creative. I feel like we're still going to be one of the better teams in the league. So, first line, you got one of the Kessel clones playing with McDavid and Kane. They get a +5 chem. Second line, you got another clone with Couturier, Balsers. Third line there, you got Silverberg, Brassard, Armia. I like this lineup. They have the best chemistry also, you know, being pretty balanced and still having our best players getting the most ice time. Fourth line, Simmons, Stahl, Ryder. That just makes sense. Defensively here, I think we might have the best defense in the league. Ekholm, Carlson, top pair, get a +4. Klingberg, Orlov, Belinsky, Murray. Goaltending-wise, Grubauer starting, Godla backing him up. I mean, look at power play 1. Like, that's actually pretty legit, you know, power play 1. Power play 2 starts to taper off a little bit. We don't even really have a true centerman. I'm just kind of hoping our wingers can find a way to, you know, get that puck. PK-wise, again, we drafted Couturier for the PK. And our PK1 actually gets a +5, so I think it was worth it. Even the second one, McDavid's a +3. Overall, I think we are getting, you know, pretty good chemistry here. And like I was saying, guys, look at the rest of the teams. Our defense is so much better. I'm hoping that's kind of like the X factor for us. Austria is actually pretty decent. They got 3 guys, like 84+. But, I mean, Hungary here has Jones and Ruda, and that is it. Czech has McAvoy, Provorov. Like, most teams have 2, maybe 3 guys. The fact that we have 4 guys are legit, I think, is going to give us a big advantage. Yeah, Germany's only got a couple there. Chernik's their number 1. Yossi Theodore, that's actually nasty for the Italian team. So it's going to be a fun sim, I think. Never done anything like this. Never seen anyone do this before. I'm just kind of going through here, showing you guys the defense. Could show you the forward groups too. Wait a minute, who was that? Slovakia, Lindholm. Oh, they got Valimaki in the second, but that looks pretty rough. I mean, also Slovenia's isn't the best either. So again, you kind of just get an idea looking at the defenses, what the teams are made up like. Obviously, the forward groups are pretty similar to ours. You got a couple lines of decent players. The bottom 6 isn't too great. And then most teams, I think, all had like at least an 80+ starting goalie. Some had better backups than others, though. So we'll see what happens here. Before we do start the sim, guys, I'll show you our ratings. So we've got 86 offense, 87 defense, 74 goaltending. You might notice the jerseys are crap. This is because it would have taken way too long to make all the jerseys for these teams as well. Although, I think I did get, yeah, home jersey there for Canada. So we'll see what happens. I'm really hoping for the best. Now, I'm skimming through the trade deadline, guys. We got a big trade going down. Latvia trades Patrick Kane to South Carolina, who's actually South Korea, in exchange for 2 second-round picks, Caden Price. I did see Latvia fire their head coach, so not a great start for them. Slovakia trades Nichushkin in a third to Poland for a couple seconds. Pretty funny trades. Oh, Ryan O'Reilly for a second and a third. Pretty active trade deadline here with the international teams. Alright guys, so just into the last game of the season, we'll see what happens here against Russia. Again, because it's round robin, you play every single team 3 times, which makes it very fair. The divisions only really matter for seeding, which I think is pretty fair. As you can see there, our team absolutely crushed it. 45, 15, and 6. Again, 3-point win system, but 132 points, won the Western Conference, and we also won the league there because the next best team had 128. So that is pretty awesome to see. Connor McDavid, 74 points in 66 games, so good to see him putting up over a point per game. We'll see how everyone else on this team did. I feel like, you know, McDavid probably should have done even better than that, honestly. And just when his supporting cast isn't that great, he'll actually pop off even more. He did have a +28 though. Patty Kane, 64. And I'm just thinking too, like, if we were just throwing him out there against every team's 3rd and 4th line, it'd basically be just a guaranteed point, you'd think, for McDavid. Kane, almost a point per game. Couturier there was close to 60. Carlson, the 2 Kessel twins, both had 50+. Silverberg close to 50, same with Klingberg. Ekholm even 38. So overall, like, I think, you know, this team's pretty solid. Again, didn't have the depth really you normally have, but that was the case for every other team. Grubauer played amazing. 39 wins, 7 shutouts, a 9.14 and a 2.4 goals against. 9.14 save percentage, 2.4 goals against. I think he's got a really good shot to win the Vezina. Probably has to do with the fact, he had the best defense in front of him in the entire league. And now speaking of that, guys, you can see Malkin actually led the league in scoring. 100 points there, Slovakia. Pretty impressive, I'd say, for only playing 66 games. Hughes 97, McKinnon 95. Like, look at all these guys, 90 plus points. Connor McDavid doesn't have 90 plus points, and that's in a 66 game season. Again, I think it's because the competition is so much lower. No team has the depth that they usually do. Look at this, the other Patrick Kane, 79 points. Like, why did our McDavid, our Kane not do as good? Like, that is crazy to me. Connor McDavid only 74. What are you gonna do? At least, the team played well, even though he could have done a lot better. Dahlin, actually, highest scoring D-man, but McAvoy, 2 less points, plus 25. He might actually end up winning the Norris. Demko, though, had the highest save percentage for a starter, 9-2 with Czech Republic. Goals against here goes to Grubauer, so I feel like he'll probably get the Vezina. Rookie skaters, I don't even know. Marco Rossi is on Team Austria. He had almost a point per game. Now in 83, so good for him. He was playing with the Norwegian team, I think, there. Now look at the standings for the division, guys. You can see, of course, we got first place there. Our division was pretty decent. Central, actually, very good. Every team basically had 100 plus points, and every team's at least in the playoffs or the play-in, which is pretty cool. The North had the two worst teams, I think, in the league. Denmark and Latvia. The East there, a little bit more balanced. Curious entire league. So we got first place, although Kazakhstan was pretty close to us. You had a lot of teams there, 100 plus, like 12 teams. Now, last place was Latvia, 56. Denmark, 58, but they get to do the play-in. That just has to do to the division or whatever. So USA kind of getting screwed because, yeah, Poland's also in the play-in. Oh, wow, I see how it works out, guys. So USA got last there in the West with 85 points. There was 12 teams in the Western Conference. You go to the East, there's only 11. Latvia misses. Denmark with 58 gets a chance at the play-in. If they win the Stanley Cup, which is probably what's going to happen, that's going to be insane. So I want to go and take a look at both the Latvian team as well as the Ukrainian team, kind of see what the difference is there, why the one had like double the points of the other. I'm also looking at Denmark here, guys, because they were almost as bad as Latvia. First line, 81 Ehlers, probably not a first line player. They got 69 on the second line. Yeah, this team does not look too great. I do like the fact they got Maggio there. Defensively, Renski and Fox, sick top pair. After that, they got nothing. Gibson's their starting goalie, okay. Now, they got second last in the league, but still get to play in the play-in. Latvia's got Vanacek. I mentioned their coach got fired. Barkov, Carlson. I think they traded away somebody as well. Yeah, there is just no depth here. Sider, Anderson, interesting. I think I said Ukraine as well, but it was actually Team Kazakhstan that got second in the league behind us. The defense, I guess it's not terrible, but it's not great. Marchand, Crosby, Meyer. That's a nasty first line. Giroux, second line center. We've definitely got, I think, more forward depth than every other team. Better defense. Goaltending-wise, they got Vasilevsky, but Grubauer was the best goalie in the league this year, in my opinion, when you look at the stats. So I would probably have to wait for some teams to do their play-ins here, and then we'll get to our first round matchup. Looks like the play-in's actually a full 7-game series. I didn't realize that. I thought it would have been 5 games or something, but once they get that done, okay, we got Team Czech Republic here in the first round. All right, guys, so they got Kyle Connor, Steven Stamkos, Kapanen, Barbanov, Reichel, Kubalik, Mikhaev, Stankoven, Puljujarvi. Interesting. Fourth line's pretty bad. I wonder how Stankoven got in. Seems like there's some junior players in here, some not. Provorov, McAvoy. After that, pretty weak. Goaltending, Demko. We'll see what happens here. First 2 games in Canada. And 4-3 OT win, a 5-1 win. Let's go. Headed to Czech Republic now. And we get a 4-0 loss and a 3-2 OT loss. Czech team ties it up. 5-0 win. All right, answer back. Can we win one on the road here in Europe? Wow, they forced this to Game 7. I feel like when you look at the rosters, our team's better. They're obviously battle-hardened. They played that play and earned their spot. And it's 1-1 after 1. McDavid for us. Von Birkenkow for them. 4-2, let's go. McDavid with a couple. Armia gets one. Stankoven. And there's no way. There's no way. They tie it up. Barbanov and Pickering. Resume simulation. There is no way. Power play. Our power play's nasty. They have one. We have a good PK. Out shooting them. This is insane. Another power play for the Czech team. Boys holding on here. Wow. Okay, Rudolph Bolsters. I shouted him out when we drafted him. I thought he could be a hero for us, and he gets the Game 7 series winner. That was way too close. We'll see. Round 2 here, we got Team Austria. So they've got Ovechkin, Hughes, and Wheeler on the first line, which is pretty nasty. Bjork, Hiddle, Tatar. They got Haller, third line center. Fourth, they got Sheehan. It's not terrible, I guess. McDonough, Petrangelo, Larson. It looks pretty good. I don't know where these junior players are coming from at all. Shesterkin's our starting goalie. Very, very good goalie. So This is going to be a pretty tough matchup. Obviously, Ovechkin, could score a bunch on us. McDavid there, 11 points in 7 games through the first round. Hopefully, he can keep up that pace. Maybe even find another gear. First 2 games at home. 5-4 OT win, 4-3 win. Very close game. We come out of them up 2. Game 3 we lose. Game 4 we win. Just have to win one of the next 3 now. Okay, there we go. Game 5, big 2-1 win. We actually won every single game by 1. So, like, super close series there with Austria, even though it was over in 5. We got France next. I do kind of think that logo they have is kind of sick. McDavid's got 16 and 12 now. So Team France here, I don't think we've looked at yet. Zuccarello's on that team with Barzal and Nylander. Kind of nasty first line. Actually, top 6. Kasha, Tavares, Palat. Bottom 6, I mean, they got Archibald there. It's okay. Defensively, they got Makar leading it. They've actually got 4 80s, a couple 70s on the bottom. One of the better defensive groups. I think ours is better overall, but they have Makar. Frank, who's starting, is not bad. Del backing him up is actually a decent backup as well. So, probably the best team we've played yet, which is why we're facing them here in the conference final. Canada versus France. Can we get it done? We're going to have home ice advantage the whole playoffs, obviously. 2 games at home here. 1-0. 3-2 OT. Close games. Where would you guys say we're playing? Probably Toronto, if I'd have to admit. Wow. As I say that. Maybe we should have been playing in Montreal. 4-0 loss and a 2-1 OT loss. Backs against the wall. Can we win 3 straight? Let's see if we can even do it in Game 5. Wow. France gets it done. Beats us in 5. After winning the first, we lose the next 4 straight. That is tough. Looks like Sweden there is playing Poland in the Eastern Conference Final. Look at this, guys. You got a 7-team draft lottery. Italy there jumped from 5 to 1. Latvia got screwed. They had the worst team by far. They dropped 2 spots. France actually ended up going on to win the Stanley Cup. I think that's pretty cool. We'll take a look, too, at the Eastern Conference winner, what that team is looking like. David, 18 points, 17 games. Over a point per game is nice to see. He's actually 98 overall now, but honestly, we need him to be even better. Kane, almost a point per game. Kessel, at least one of them had 11. The other had 8, which is funny. Couturier, 9. Carlson, 9. I mean, yeah, we could have had a bit better production. Grubauer, 917, 2.4. It's not on him. I think we just lost to a pretty solid France team there. I think we were better, but it was close enough. They got lucky. So, let's see. France also had a bye. They did not play in the wild card round. They're actually the 6th seed going into the playoffs. They upset Slovenia in 7. They then beat Switzerland in 6. Again, technically an upset, 6 versus 5. They then upset us big time, beating us in 5. And then they faced Poland in the final, who they beat in 6. Poland had to beat Russia in the wild card round just to get in. They were the 9th seed, swept Kazakhstan. What the heck? How did they even pull that off? Kazakhstan was first in the Eastern Conference, second in the entire league. They got swept by the Polish team. So like I was saying, we definitely have to take a look at that Polish roster. Awards next year, guys. We got the President's Trophy, at least it's something. Malkin Art Ross and the Hart. McAvoy, James Norris. Pasternak, Lady Bing. Rossi got the Calder. McCarr, Conn Smythe. Grubauer did get the Vezina, along with William Jennings. Bruce Wicks there got the Bill Masterton. Ukraine coach, Jack Adams. Barkov, Selke. Malkin, Ted Lindsay. And then McKinnon there with Maurice Richard. Actually, I think I forgot to check goals. So, we took home the Presidents. We had, the lowest goals against, the best goalie. It's something, but I really was thinking, we could probably win the Stanley Cup. Lastly here, guys, we'll take a look at that Polish team. So, Dahlin's leading the defense. They got Eichel as well. So, the old Buffalo duo. That's right, they traded for Nichushkin. Lundell, Zaka, Nemec, Yoki Harju. That's it, though. I mean, not an amazing team. I can see why they're the 9 seed. And then goaltending, they got Allmarker's pretty solid. Remember, too, they had a trade for Nichushkin. So kind of crazy, Cinderella run from them. Imagine they actually went on to win. It would have been exactly what I predicted. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Again, I had a ton of fun with it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, leave that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that sub button down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.